Good evening, everybody, and welcome to another edition of high school basketball. Right here on the pulse of the Buckeye State, you're tuned in right here on Heart of Ohio Sports. Nate Mullins and Tommy Hall joining you live. We're listening to the pregame show brought to you by Your Legacy Federal Credit Union. We are here for tonight's district final matchup in Division 4 as the 24-0 Tiffin Calvert Senecas face off against the 19-4 Old Fort Stockaders. Once again, Nate Mullins and Tommy Hall on the call. We want to thank Greg Kinn for manning the cameras here tonight at Liberty-Benton High School, the site of this district final matchup. Take a moment to thank all of our sponsors for bringing you tonight's broadcast right here on Heart of Ohio Sports. Thanks to our pregame show sponsor, Your Legacy Federal Credit Union, as well as our halftime show sponsor, First National Bank of Sycamore. Stick around for the postgame show, brought to you by Phillips Electric, and our player of the game, brought to you by MST Sauce Company. Also, keys to the game tonight, brought to you by Win Waste Innovations in Fostoria. I'd like to also thank Reno's Pizza and Pasta, Sarah Risen, Century 21 Bolte in Tiffin, Fiesel's Frame and Collision, Fort Ball Pizza Palace, Ex-Curry Mexican Restaurant, and Your Legacy Federal Credit Union, all proud sponsors right here on Heart of Ohio Sports. We're about 7 minutes away from the start of tonight's broadcast, and this game figures to be a huge clash between these two SBC River rivals. And Tommy, what a treat it is to be back here at Liberty-Benton High School for this one. Boy, that was a nice drive over here on 224, was it not?
Oh, absolutely, and the atmosphere is electric, and if you're able to bottle up that electricity in this building, you got something sweeter than Yoo-hoo.
That's right.
But here we are on the call of this Division 4 district final, live from Liberty-Benton between these backyard rivals, the Old Fort Stockaders and the Calvert Senecas. And Nate, again, quite literally, North 53, the road to the regional championship runs to Bowling Green, and to get there, you got to go through Old Fort or vice versa if you're the Stockaders. After a tremendous regional semifinal matchups we saw this past Tuesday between the Calvert Senecas and the Cary Blue Devils, in which Calvert was able to upend the Blue Devils 55-36, with Garrett Spawn pacing the Senecas with 21 points, and accompanying that with Max Paul's 18 points and Nolan Beaker's 12 points. I mean, you need that kind of production out of your bigs against this very game and very tall Old Fort squad.
Now, you talk about those three seniors. There's a lot of leadership on this squad. We talked about Garrett Spawn, and you talked about this leadership and this group of kids. They've been playing together since they've been in fourth grade, Tommy.
Wow. And
this is a group of kids, they're very familiar with each other, and they've grown together, and they've come into this moment prepared for tonight's matchup, and I'm ready for this.
And like we said, let's travel down North 53 a little bit and visit these Stockaders.
Right after the national anthem. All right, let's get ready for some basketball. Live here at Liberty-Benton High School. You're listening to Heart of Ohio Sports, the pulse of the Buckeye State. You're tuned in right here on the pregame show, brought to you by Your Legacy Federal Credit Union. Tommy, we talked about it before this national anthem got started, but you want to talk about those Stockaders. Let's touch base with them. How'd they get here?
Oh, absolutely. We were treated to a very great doubleheader this past Tuesday in Division 4 district action, as the late game, the matinee show, had Old Fort upending Gibsonburg 54-38, and man, what a tremendous game that was, as the Stockaders found themselves in early trouble in that one, being down by as many as 10 points, continuously and then just being able to hunker down defensively and be able to shut down the Golden Bears to where in that fourth quarter, the Old Fort Stockaders were just able to bury the Golden Bears. And that was also accompanied by that second quarter 26-point shutout there that the Stockaders had to go into the half. But, man, what a way to rally, what a way to come back and continue to fight. Like we talk about, it's not about where you start, it's where you finish.
That's right.
And again, we're going to finish this one out between these two rivals here for the district championship.
This figures to be one heck of a matchup between these two schools, as they both, in the previous matchups, they dispatched their opponents with ease. I'd say, for the first half of those games, they were pretty close, but then, the championship medal of both of these teams showed in the second half of both of their games in the first round, and that's why we're here. These two teams belong to be here. They both beat their opponents by more than 10 points. This figures to be a great matchup, and I think it's going to be a low-scoring game, Tommy.
And a rivalry as old as cats and dog. And, folks, we've been on this call for a long, long time. And, man, back and forth, tooth and nail, these two squads, each and every time they play each other. As we were on the call there in Bowling Green at the Stroh Center, just before the world shut down right before when Old Fort was actually dispatched by the Calvert Senecas. Now, fortune favors the bold as the Stockaders this time kind of come in as the underdog against this undefeated Seneca squad.
That's right. The Stockaders will play the away squad tonight as the Senecas play the home team here at Liberty-Benton High School as they carry their 24-0 unblemished record into tonight's game. And Tommy, we talked about it. Greg and I talked about it the other night when we were covering Tiffin, Columbian, and Sandusky. It is hard, and I mean hard, to beat a team 3 times in the same season.
Yeah, I mean,
we've said that time and time again, and most of the time, I'd say about 80% of the time, it rings true.
And once again, we just can't thank you enough for joining us here on this live broadcast, as this is sure to be one of the most exciting games of the year, as there's more stories in this one than daytime TV.
That's absolutely right.
As we are getting set with the player introductions, Nate, can you go over some of these squads here that we might be seeing here on the court?
Oh, absolutely, Tommy, my pleasure. First, we'll start with the visiting team, the Old Fort Stockaders. Number 1, senior Simon Tackett. Number 2, junior Isaac Snyder. Number 3, sophomore Isaiah Perez. Number 4, senior Casey Klaus. Number 5, senior Garrett Havens. Number 10, senior Miles Miller. Number 11, junior Pearson Steyer. Number 20, junior Adam Majors. Number 21, junior Shane Webb. Number 22, Blake Bender, sophomore. Number 23, senior Colin Nutter. And number 33, sophomore Carter Dubois. That's your lineup for the visiting team, the Old Fort Stockaders. And now, let's bring you the lineup for the Tiffin Calvert Senecas. Number 1, Garrett Spawn, senior. Number 3, Nick Palm, junior. Number 5, Ethan Sauber, senior. Number 10, Harrison Schultz, sophomore. Number 11, Jackson Sislove, senior. Number 12, Blake Ronsky, senior. Number 20, Max Paul, senior. Number 22, Nolan Beeker, senior. Number 23, Reed Warnament, senior. Number 33, Caden Otterbacher, sophomore. And number 42, sophomore Jacob Rumbach. Head coach John Otterbacher of the Senecas and Eric Hoover for the Stockaders. And we are set and ready to get underway here at Liberty-Benton High School for the District 4, or Division 4 District Final. Opening tip controlled by the Stockaders, and we're underway here at Liberty-Benton High School. Thanks for tuning in right here on Heart of Ohio Sports. Nate Mullins and Tommy Hall on the call. Thanks for tuning in for our pregame show brought to you by Your Legacy Federal Credit Union. Left wing 3, fired up and no good. That's Garrett Havens on the 3. The rebound grab by the Senecas. Nolan Beeker, spin move into the lane, working on Colin Nutter.
Oh, this is the matchup.
Got him to jump, no good, and that one's going to be tipped out of bounds. Last touch by the Senecas. Casey Klaus takes the inbound, crosses the timeline into the forecourt for the Stockaders. We got an early foul on Jackson Sislove. And the referee's setting the tone early in this one, making sure, hey guys, this is not going to be a physical contest. We're going to make sure it's called clean. Casey Klaus Pulls it back, sets the offense. Over to the right wing for Garrett Havens. Now down low. They work it up. Miles Miller shot no good. Rebound grab by Garrett Spawn. Still no score. 7:07 left here in the first quarter. They work it down low to Max Paul. Back out to Garrett Spawn.
And Garrett Spawn, he's the one that sets the pace for these Senecas. Player of the year. Heidelberg commit really sets the pace for this offense.
Garrett Spawn. Kicks it over on the left side for Sizlove. Sizlove. Back to Spawn. Over to Blake Ronsky. Ronsky, another senior, had to go off his foot and out of bounds. They're going to say last touch by Old Fort. Must have went off of Garrett Havens.
You notice Old Fort starting to blanket to start this one as they don't want to give Calvert any open looks early on because that was what got Old Fort in trouble in that game against Gibsonburg.
Ronsky takes the inbound, drives the baseline, kicks it under the basket for Beaker, had it poked away, but Sizlove grabs it on the left wing. Jackson Sizlove works it over the right wing for Paul. He's tripped up on his way to the basket, and the foul's going to be called on Miles Miller.
Yeah, I love watching Nolan Beaker and Colin Nutter go one-on-one. Those two, tougher than shoe leather.
That's the matchup tonight. 6'2" senior Nolan Beaker against 6'7" senior
Colin
Nutter, and Beaker takes him to the rim and lays it off the glass and in. That starts the scoring for us, 2-0, Tiffin Calvert, 6:15 left here in the first quarter. Majors, that's Adam Majors, works it down low for Casey Klaus, now back out for Majors.
Majors, dangerous from beyond the arc as we found out against Gibsonburg this past Tuesday, as he's actually going to drive.
Driving the baseline, under the basket, had it poked away, now he kicks it out, Havens for three, in and out. Rebound grab by Max Paul.
I can't say enough about Max Paul's production since coming in with his Senecas.
He had one heck of a night the other night, 18 points, had to have at least 10 rebounds. I wasn't keeping track, but man, he was a machine. Speaking of machine, he goes to the basket, lays it up, no good. It tipped out of bounds, last touched by the Senecas.
And I know you want to set the tempo early, but you can't get too ahead of yourself in your sets. Take your time, find a rhythm early on if you're the Senecas, pass it around, and get that open look, because you're going to have to get these baskets when you can get them.
Casey Klaus drives to the right wing, now kicks it over to Nutter. Nutter at the top of the key.
Ooh, Nutter and Paul, that should be a good one.
That's a nice matchup.
This is a
down
great
low,
night.
double teamed. He's going to draw the foul on his way up for the basket. We got Max Paul.
Nutter just so hard to defend. Yeah, another player of the year on the other side there for the Stockaders. He's also 60% from the field. I mean, the guy is just almost automatic.
That's the second team foul on the Senecas. Nutter knocks down the first.
Tickles the twine as he's just got a great stroke on the ball.
Colin Nutter toes the line. It down low. Spawn. Go. It'll reach it. It's going to get called on. Looks like possibly. Yep, that's going to go on Adam Majors.
And Ronsky, the all-time leading scorer from beyond the three-point line for Tiffin Calvert. As tonight, you've seen him drive to the basket a couple of times. You want to make sure that you get that ball to Ronsky where he's comfortable at. I'm not sure driving to the lane is his specialty.
Under the basket. Shot up and good from Max Paul. And the Senecas finding some success in the paint. 4-2, the early lead for Tiffin Calvert. That ball poked away and off of the Old Fort Stockaders. It goes out of bounds.
Now
after some discussion, they're going to reverse the call and say it stays with Old Fort. So Stockaders retain possession. 4:36 left here in the first quarter. 4-2, Tiffin Calvert.
Can't leave anything out on the floor to these 32 minutes.
This is the marquee matchup we've been looking forward to here in the postseason between these two Division IV schools. Down low, pass for Colin Nutter, stolen away. Nice steal there by Ethan Sauber. Now Garrett Spawn works his way into the forecourt. Driving into the paint, kicks it out for Ronski.
There's
fires
Ronski.
up a three. Nails it. Blake Ronski from the perimeter puts the Senecas up 7-2.
Comfort zone for Ronski.
Now Major spots up from three. No good. Rebound tipped under the basket. Last touch by Oldfort.
And Majors definitely can do that turnabout being fair play from the wing for you at any given moment.
Yeah, he had a good look at it too.
Really have some by your support tonight. That's fine. We got Majors wing, Miller down low.
Works it to Palm. Now to the basket for Paul. We're gonna say a foul.
Oh my God.
Well, must have been a foul.
Or Max Paul's is that automatic?
Yeah, well,
Could be both.
spends a lot of time working on that stroke, that's for sure. Max Paul knocks them both down.
Calvert starting to build a nice little lead here.
Ronski on the right wing. On defense. Now Miller. They work it around the perimeter. Oh, nice shot from Klaus. No good. He had a good look at it. They found the open man, but he wasn't able to convert.
And this is
Spawn into the lane. Up with the shot. Off the glass and in. Timeout. Stockaders. 11-2 to start this one for the Senecas.
Coach Eric Hoover's going to call that timeout, Nate, but the Stockaders aren't going to be perturbed by this. This is almost the exact situation they found themselves against Gibsonburg just a few nights ago, and then in that second quarter was able to come back with 26 points. Never count these Stockaders out, as they can just shut you down in an instant and start becoming automatic. Seemingly a lid on the basket for the Stockaders to start. Said they don't just about 1 of 9 from the field right now.
So after the timeout, Senecas lead 11-2. Stockaders have the possession. 3:12 to play here in the first quarter. Thanks for tuning in right here on the Pulse of the Buckeye State, heart of Ohio sports. Nate Mullins and Tommy Hall on the call. We've got Greg Kinn manning the cameras for this district matchup between these Division IV SBC River rivals. Miles Miller on the perimeter. Works it over to Adam Majors. Majors driving into the paint. Oh, it's stripped on the way to the basket. It goes out of bounds. Last touch by the Senecas. The Senecas were really good at that against the Blue Devils the other night. When they drove to the basket, they're really good at getting their hands in there and being pesky in the lane. They work it down low for Nutter. Turnaround jumper. Oh, what a move by Colin Nutter. Spin move, turnaround jumper, and that was smooth. Spawn pulls up from the free throw line and knocks it down. Garrett Spawn.
You couldn't even hear that shot.
Casey Klaus drives, kick out. Havens puts it on the floor. Now kicks it over to Majors. Majors, top of the key, back to Havens. Now they work it down low for Nutter. Nutter working on Beaker. Triple team, draws it back out. Now kick out left side for Klaus for three.
And that
tipped under the basket, no good. But I think we're going to get an over the back foul.
From the
13-4 last touched by the Senecas. 1:37 left here in the first quarter. Tiffin Calvert leading 13-4 over the Stockaders. Casey Klaus Working on size love. Little step back, pull up for three. Off the back of the rim, no. Miller grabs the rebound, goes back up with it. Puts it up, no. Paul grabs the loose ball.
Calvert's ability to send a man over as soon as they see a guy open in the paint, just beyond words.
Sauber drives it into the paint, cut off by the defense. Kicks it back out to Garrett Spawn. Spawn drives the paint, puts it. Oh, what a move, but he's not able to finish. Great defense in the lane by the Stockaders.
Under a minute now. 50 seconds remaining.
Corner three, and that's good. Simon Tackett knocks down the three from the left wing. Stockaders to within 6, 13-7. 42 seconds left here in the first quarter. Right wing, Blake Ronski. On top of the key for Garrett Spawn. Sizlove has it on the left wing, kicks it back out to Spawn. Spawn sets the offense. Looks like they're trying to save this one possibly for the last possession. We'll see. Down to 18 seconds left here in the first quarter. Spawn working on Klaus. Puts him in a spin cycle. Now drives. Kick out. Max Paul for three. Off the rim. And it falls in. Max Paul.
That had some mustard on it too. I can't believe that went in.
Miller launches it from three. No good. I think we're going to get a foul before the end of the quarter. Or are they going to say no shot because it wasn't? Yeah, no shot. That was the end of the first quarter. Your score, Tiffin Calvert 16, Old Fort 7. Folks, First National Bank of Sycamore is uniquely rooted in our communities. Proudly serving their customers since 1919. They have locations in Sycamore, Tiffin, New Riegel, and McCutcheonsville. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender. Once again, one of our proud sponsors here on Heart of Ohio Sports. That's First National Bank of Sycamore. Take a moment to thank all of our sponsors. Thanks to MST Sauce Company, First National Bank of Sycamore, Phillips Electric, Wind Waste Innovations in Fostoria, Reno's Pizza and Pasta, Sarah Risen, Century 21 Bolte in Tiffin, Fiesel's Frame and Collision, Fort Ball Pizza Palace, Etcare Mexican Restaurant, and Your Legacy Federal Credit Union, all proud sponsors right here on Monday Night Sports Talk.
And how tough have these two teams came out in the opening stanza of that one to where the Senecas lead 16-7. And man, if you're going to try to upend these Senecas off their undefeated season, you better pack a lunch or go visit your friends over at X-Carrot for lunch if you
that's where to leave.
Yeah, because again, their lunch specials are just phenomenal.
There's so many great places in Tiffin to eat food. I mean, we are spoiled with some of the choices that we have in Tiffin.
Oh, absolutely.
You talk about MST Sauce Company, you talk about Fort Ball, Reno's.
Home of the Frankie's Original.
Oh, that sounds good, Tommy. Maybe I'll put an order in before I leave, and it'll be ready when I get back.
Oh, I don't think they'll keep you waiting that long, so I'd order it once you get to about Alveda.
We'll hit that halfway point.
There you go.
Max Paul drives the baseline, cut off, now kicks it down low for Sizlove, over to Beaker. Nolan Beaker, spin move, puts it up, no. Nutter with excellent defense, rips down the rebound. And the Stockaders.
Yeah, we talk about having your work cut out for you. Nolan Beaker. He's going to have to put on the steel-toe boots and hard hat.
Klaus works it down low for Nutter. Nutter, spin move, in the paint, up with the shot, no. Tries to get his own rebound, but he is...
And what tremendous defense by Beaker. That's
Beaker.
Foul, 9 out of 10 times.
No. Rebound fought for, grabbed by Garrett Havens. Physical basketball being played now. 16-7, Tiffin Calvert. Simon Tackett kicks it over. Nutter. Baseline jumper, no good. Rebound grabbed by Ronski. Garrett Spawn now with it. They slow things down. Set up the half-court offense. Spawn working on Casey Klaus. Spawn kicks it out. Left wing three. Sizlove. Off the rim, no. Rebound tipped onto the basket. Grabbed by Garrett Havens. Didn't see much of Havens against the Golden Bears the other night, Tommy, but he is definitely showing his presence here early in this one. Klaus with the shot. No good. Rebound grabbed by Paul. 16-7 your score. 6:22 left here in the first half. Make sure you stick around for the halftime show, brought to you by our friends at First National Bank of Sycamore.
And press against this Calvert Seneca squad. I mean, that would just get you tired. I get tired just watching it.
Spawn, kick out on the right wing for Paul. Now over to Sizlove. Love gives it over to Spawn. Now Garrett Spawn comes off the screen, driving the paint. Kick out right wing, 3 for Max Paul. Bang! Max Paul knocks down the 3. He's got 8 points here in the first half.
Max Paul says, "You will respect me."
Picking up where he left off right here on Tuesday night. Down low for Nutter. Oh, and what a nice move by Colin Nutter. Got himself a bird and put it up and in.
Yeah, just otherworldly, but no hocus pocus, just all focus by Colin Nutter as he drives to the basket and continues to keep the Stockaders.
That's a nice move there. Jackson Love slices through the defense and puts it up off the glass and puts the Senecas up by 12. 21-9 is your score. 5:05 left here in the first half. Klaus calls for the screen. And goes away from it. Now kick out for Havens. Thought about a 3. Puts it on the floor. Now kicks it back over to Klaus on the right wing. Over to Havens, right corner. Now down low for Miller. Had it poked away. And right to Nolan Beaker. Now Spawn driving. Goes up with it. Off the glass and in. Garrett Spawn has 8 points here now. And the Senecas have a 14-point advantage. Timeout. Old Fort Eric Hoover.
And what a tremendous season that Garrett Spawn had here in his senior campaign. You know, we've been along for the ride with him for the past 4 years. The funky freshman, now up to the maturing to the point to being the cerebral assassin, the point guard, and the play caller for this Seneca squad. Just a tremendous job he does as a field general for this squad.
Oh, absolutely. And the third leading scorer in the SBC, averaging about 17 points a game. I mean, you talk about the contributions not just on the offensive end, but on the defensive end as well. I mean,
he's a thief in the night. He really is.
He really is. He leads the SBC in steals at 3.7 per game. He had 89 steals on the regular season. Almost 100 steals in 22 games. That's just ridiculous.
I want to thank you once again for tuning in here on Heart of Ohio Sports. Tommy Hall, Nate Mullins up here in the press box. Greg Kinn manning the camera.
Once again, you're tuned in right here to the pulse of the Buckeye State, Heart of Ohio Sports. Stick around for the halftime show. Brought to you by your friends here at First National Bank of Sycamore. 4:37 left here in the first half. Senecas leading 23-9. Stockaders take the inbound. Casey Klaus brings the ball over the timeline now into the forecourt. Colin Nutter now with it, out on the wing. Nutter rolls off the screen, now kicks it out for Miles Miller. Now over to Tackett, Simon Tackett. Down low for Nutter, now out on the right wing, 3 shot. That's good! There it is! Adam Majors knocks down the 3. Brings the Stockaders to within 11, 23-12. That's Majors' first basket of the night. And it comes at a crucial time. Stockaders need to get a stop here and trim this one back to a single-digit deficit. Nick Palm driving, kicks it out. Max Paul. Behind the back dribble, gives it over to Nolan Beaker. Now back out to Palm.
I can't even in front of me dribble.
Garrett Spawn driving the paint, kicks it out. Beaker for 3. Nope. Rebound, fought for, grabbed. Yeah, we're going to say that's going to be an over the back on Blake Ronsky. When you're taller than the other guy, you have a habit of just kind of like, hey, let me have that. Let me just reach over top of you here and take that. But you can't do that.
Look at this.
Klaus, blazing speed, loses control, goes off of his leg and out of bounds. Nice defense there by Nick Palm.
Tried to send it, got caught going out of bounds.
Yeah. Garrett Spawn brings the ball into the forecourt for the Senecas. 23-12 is your score. 3:15 left here in the first half. Spawn driving into the paint. Pass is tipped away and stolen by the Stockaders.
And that's what we talk about, being a step ahead. Out there, you know, everyone else playing checkers and Spawn's playing chess. As just a little miscommunication there, wasn't able to read it. And look
at the triple team, gets his own rebound, puts it up, and puts it back in. Colin Nutter now with 8 points.
We talk about them second chance opportunities. Colin Nutter, he'll give himself that second chance.
He knows his team's going to need him tonight. They're going to need a lot of him tonight. Palm tripped up, able to get it out to Ronski. Ronski drives the baseline, puts the shot up. No. And Nutter corrals the loose ball. So they trimmed it to single deficits. It's a 5-0 run now for the Stockaders. Here they got a chance to trim this to a 2-possession ball game.
I think you dial up the aggression here if you're the Stockaders,
Oh, absolutely.
too. Try to draw some fouls. Try to just work the lane. I mean, you got guys that can do it. Miller, he's just been shut down on the defensive end, but you get him going offensively. He's really one of the key contributors to the Stockader squad.
For sure. Turnaround jumper from Nutter.
Wow.
And he's feeling it, Tommy. You can tell. We got a little pep in his step right now. And the senior says, hey, guys, get on my back. I'll carry you. Poked away. Majors with the steal. Adam Majors drives into the paint, up with the shot. Nobody's fouled on his way up for the shot. And Adam Majors will go to the line for 2 shots.
Well, where shots haven't fallen for some of these Stockaders, defensively, they have just been tearing it up.
Adam Majors shooting 2.
That's what they do in the second quarters. They try to they of course try to build up runs for the end of the half. But the Stockaders, they find themselves behind the 8 ball early. And here in the second quarter, that's when they start to snowball. And they really affect how you plan for the second half, especially with the way they perform in the second quarter. I mean, how do you adjust to a Jekyll and Hyde team?
Right. So the Stockaders right now on an 8-0 run. And Adam Majors just trimmed it to a 2-possession ball game. Off the front of the rim, no, and they get their own rebound. Nope, and it's tipped away. Spawn grabs it. Garrett Spawn into the paint, up off the glass, no. Nutter grabs the rebound. Spawn tried to get that one to go, but was unsuccessful. Now Nutter, top of the key, works it over to Majors. Adam Majors. He's going to pull up and spot that one. No good. Rebound, tipped under the basket. He grabs his own rebound off the 3. What an effort by Adam Majors for him to go grab his own rebound. And Tommy, it's not like it was a long rebound. He ran under the basket and grabbed that. That was impressive. You want to talk about laying it all out there? Seizing the moment.
Yeah, win or go home.
Majors spots up from 3 off the inbound, no. Rebound grab by Sislov. Spawn down the floor to Sauber, who loses it off his leg and out of bounds.
Majors says, don't call it a comeback. I've been here the whole time.
That's right. Klaus working on Sauber, down to 48 seconds left here in the first half. Klaus on the left wing to tack it. Now back to Klaus, out to Nutter on the top of the key, working on Nolan Beaker to the elbow. Out to Majors, drives. Double team. That should have been a travel. Yep, there it is. Oh. Calls it like I sees it.
That'd be a first.
Hey now, come on now.
Returning to the game for Calvert, number 12, Blake Ronski.
Just what a great competitive atmosphere we have here tonight between these 2 rival squads.
You can feel the tension in this room.
Oh yeah, the stakes haven't been any bigger.
Down to 30 seconds left here in the first half. Senecas,
you win.
Try to control this one for the last possession.
You win here, you go to Bowling Green.
That's right.
And between I-75 and Colin Nutter, I don't know who shuts down more lanes.
Spawn. Kick out to Sauber. Now Spawn has it.
There's
Step
Miller.
Back 3. Off the rim, no. Rebound fought for under the basket. Tipped out by the Stockaders. Boy, Ethan Sauber, he's scrappy, Tommy. He's down there fighting for every inch. He might not have got that rebound, but he forced the out of bounds on that one. Now 2.7 seconds left. Senecas have a chance to get the shot off the inbound here before half. Inbound. Size left for three. No, in and out. Rebound. Tipped out, and that is the end of the first half. Senecas leading the Stockaders 23-17. Don't go anywhere. We're going to step aside for a momentary audio timeout right after this. Folks, Your Legacy Federal Credit Union has been a part of the community for 70 years. They are a member-driven and financial cooperative and are delighted to provide a personal touch to an often impersonal industry with a focus on respect and member satisfaction while caring for your financial needs. Stop at Your Legacy, located at 25 Schaefer Park Drive in Tiffin. Your community, your legacy, federally insured NCUA. Once again, we'll be right back after this. Keep it locked in right here. You've got it tuned in to the pulse of the Buckeye State, heart of Ohio sports.
Like 180 people watching on Facebook and 75 on podcast. So like, this quality keeps going up and down with this connection, but I'm still watching. Why, what you do? Said what? Agreed. What is that service over here? You get one. Everybody gets one. See, that kid looks familiar down there. I like that Eagles jersey too. Somebody made an Eagles fan out of him, huh? Now, 82 people. Texty brothers. Yeah, if it isn't the Texty brothers. Both of y'all doing this. Oh, Steve Hartzell was like, at first he goes, looks and sounds great, and then he goes, occasionally pitch late back. Yeah. Well, that's just gonna happen. Sorry. That's the change in the speed. That's. I think it's fucking awesome. I'm sorry, but this is the best. This is way better than the last time. It's all it is legit is the speed changing because it's not a steady connection. Like, yeah, I'm not. I just messaged Steve and I'm like, tonight and tomorrow will be the last time we ever had bad broadcast. Hopefully we got good internet. No. I will. So you ordered that thing and what, you have to take it to AT&T and they're going to install a SIM card and activate it. Okay. It'll be activated that same day. So when it comes, it's supposed to be here Sunday, but the latest it'll be here is Tuesday. So I'm hoping it comes either Sunday or Monday. That way I can get in there on Monday, get that fucker activated, and it's done by Tuesday. Because what I want to do is get it, activate it, and then test it before we ever go over. You know? The dude showed me in the store upload speed at 19 megabytes per second, and that was on the 4G LTE one that they have, the Netgear Night Off. That's not the 5G. The 5G one that I ordered, because they don't even have those in store. When I showed him that, he's like, oh yeah, that's the upgraded version. We don't have those. That's what I'm saying. I was like, dude, that looks exactly like if the words match, the price match, but that model did not match. I'm like, that ain't the. Like, what the fuck is going on? Because the one I wanted was the better one. He's like, whoa, that's more expensive than ours. He's like, oh, now I see why that's the upgraded. That's the newest version. I'm like, that's the one I want. I'm like, no shit, bro. If I'm making that investment now, and here's the thing. I'm not gonna make it again in a month. And here's the thing, like, 19 upload speed is fantastic. I just want steady. That's all I told him. I'm like, dude, we were rocking with like 4 or 5 and it looked great. Like, well, we were rocking with 3 and it looked great. Never, like, I told him, I'm like, what I want is for you to guarantee that it never drops below 5. That's what I want. And he's like,
All right, welcome back to Liberty-Benton High School. Nate Mullins, Tommy Hall on the call. We've got Greg Kinn manning the cameras. You are locked in to the pulse of the Buckeye State right here on Heart of Ohio Sports. You're listening to the halftime show brought to you by First National Bank of Sycamore. I want to take a moment to thank all of our sponsors for bringing you tonight's broadcast right here on Heart of Ohio Sports. Thanks to MSD Sauce Company, First National Bank of Sycamore, Phillips Electric, Wind Waste Innovations in Fostoria, Reno's Pizza and Pasta, Sarah Risen, Century 21 Bolte in Tiffin, Fiesel's Frame and Collision, Fort Ball Pizza Palace, Ex-Corre Mexican Restaurant, and Your Legacy Federal Credit Union. All proud sponsors right here on Heart of Ohio Sports.
Oh, and again, those community-minded sponsors helping bring you high school basketball right here. I mean, what a tremendous group that we have. And we talk about all those great, like Your Legacy Federal Credit Union has been part of our community for over 70 years. They're a member-driven financial cooperative and are delighted to provide a personal touch to an often impersonal industry with a focus on respect and member satisfaction while caring for your financial needs. Stop at Your Legacy, located at 25 Schaefer Park Drive in Tiffin. Your community, your legacy, federal insured NCUA.
Well, evidently, people got a little preview of our off the mic. We didn't say anything bad, but we were all of our when we were supposedly audio timeout, it was all going on the air. I just got a message from one of my friends. He's like, "Hey, we can hear all your off the mic conversations." I'm like, "Well, it's not like we said anything bad. We were just talking about the internet, and hopefully, we're hoping that by this time next week, we have top-notch quality equipment, and we are able to provide you with a seamless, crystal clear broadcast of all of our games from here on out. We've made an investment into our Wi-Fi. We invested into the AT&T network for the 5G network. In this area, coverage is outstanding, and we are really looking forward to when our equipment comes, being able to provide you with the type of quality entertainment that we feel like we can provide here at Heart of Ohio Sports, and that we want to provide to the audience that we have out there.
Yeah, some great things coming down the pike,
right.
Especially even, traditionally you follow along with basketball, football, but I mean, we're going to be giving you a whole buffet of options as we look to bring you some baseball here in the springtime. So again, if you have anything or any suggestions of what you'd like to see covered, just shoot us either a message on Facebook or email at HOOS at
broadcasting
at gmail.com.
Once again, I want to thank all of our sponsors for coming on with us and helping us out here in the early going and helping us get started here with Heart of Ohio Sports. You are listening to the beginning of what we feel will be a great relationship with the community, not just in this area, but the Ohio community, because we're looking to expand, folks. If you are interested in sports broadcasting, if you're interested in media, well, hey, we might have a spot for you. We're looking for interested and dedicated sports enthusiasts. Let's just say that. We want sports enthusiasts to come on board with us and help us provide the kind of quality content that we want to provide the area and help us expand our coverage, because that's it. Realistically, Tommy, it's great that we have such a great community in this area that helps us and supports us, but eventually this is going to expand much farther outside of Seneca County.
Well, we welcome the challenges and changes, and thank you once again for supporting us and going with us on this. But
that's right.
Man,
we're here at halftime. 23-17 is your score. Senecas with a huge first half, but the Stockaders, or first quarter I should say, but the Stockaders there in the second, they went on a little 9-0 run to bring it back to within a 5-point ball game. Now the Senecas have it at a 6-point lead. 23-17 is your score. Colin Nutter leading the way with 10 points for the Stockaders. You got Max Paul for the Senecas with 8, as well as Garrett Spawn with 8 points. And Tommy, we knew this was going to be a tough matchup, and I had a feeling that this was going to be a defensive matchup between these two schools. And it's playing out. It's exactly what I thought here. Tough, hard-nosed basketball between these two teams. Let's talk about keys to the game, brought to you by Wind Waste Innovations in Fostoria. We got about a minute before the start of the second half. Tommy, what are the keys to the game for the Stockaders if they want to move on as district champs here at Liberty-Benton High School?
Stockaders, you know, we talked about Jekyll and Hyde, the first quarter to the second quarter, you know, just the mass transformation, the adjustments they make, just feeling out the opponents. Here in the second half, you ain't going to have that feeling out process. You're going to have to go foot to the pedal, all gas from here on out for the next 16 minutes if Old Fort looks to step out of here with the district championship and punch their ticket to the dance in Bowling Green in the regional semi.
What about the Senecas, Tommy? What do we got to do for the Senecas here? What's the keys to the game for Tiff and Calvert here in the second half?
I think you rely a lot on guys like Garrett Spawn who keep calm and under pressure, set the tempo, but again, just play the game at your tempo. Don't get over anxious.
There you have it. That's the keys to the game, brought to you by Winwaste Innovations in Fostoria. We're underway here in the second half. Stockaders have possession. Colin Nutter works it down low. Now Miles Miller off the glass. No. Garrett Spawn fought for the rebound. Kicks it down the floor for Paul. Max Paul lays it up and in.
And I was going to say, have Garrett Spawn give you that spark of offense that you need to really.
Casey Klaus now works it along the baseline. Kicks it out. Havens now top of the key for Colin Nutter. Over the left side for Majors. Step side three. Off the rim, no. Rebound fought for, grabbed by Nutter. It goes off his leg and out of bounds. Senecas have possession. They lead by 8. 25-17 is your score in this low-scoring defensive matchup between these SBC River rivals. Senecas took both matchups in the regular season. First time, score was 50-47. Second time, 65-46. So the first matchup was indicative of what we're seeing here tonight. A closely contested.
Yeah, the whole district final has been like this. You know, Old Fort 54 to 38 over Gibsonburg. And then the Senecas 55 to 36 over Cary. I mean, not high scoring affairs. You just know the defense is top notch and the aggression is dialed up.
And I think one of the things that you talked about with the keys to the game, Tommy, controlling the pace. We talk about those keys to the game brought to you by Winwaste Innovations. I think that's the key for Tiff and Calvert. That's what's led them to this point. They've been able to control the pace, control the tempo, and play at their pace. They don't play up to the speed of the competition. They don't like to get out and run. They like to set their half-court sets, like to run their sets, and get open looks for their guys, and that's what you're seeing here tonight. Garrett Spawn, kick out for Ronsky. Jackson Sizelove resets the offense. Right wing for Beaker. Now Spawn working on Casey Klaus.
The Seneca's trying to get some guys going here, but man, that defense of the Stockaders is just so tough.
Beaker under the basket, and he's going to be called for a travel. Nice defense there by Colin Nutter. As he went up for the block, but kind of stayed down for it and forced Beaker into a travel. Casey Klaus takes the inbound. Now that's just mean. Klaus drives it into the paint. It's tipped. Miles Miller grabs it. And it's tipped. And Casey Klaus grabs it back for the Stockaders. He had it stripped away. It goes out of bounds. Last touch by the Senecas, Ethan Sauber. Stays with the Stockaders. 25-17 your score. 5:37 left here in the third quarter. Casey Klaus crosses the timeline into the forecourt for the Stockaders. Down to 5.5 minutes left here in the third. Miles Miller at the free throw line, working on Max Paul. Oh, he gets loose, but unable to finish. And Nolan Beaker grabs the rebound for the Senecas. Spawn now working on Casey Klaus. Beaker drives into the paint, and he's going to get called for an offensive foul.
Offensive foul by number 22, Nolan Beaker, his first. Team's first of the half.
That'll be the first foul on Nolan Beaker and the first foul here in the second half by either team. Sauber with the steal off the inbound.
Sticky
and he's
fingers.
fouled after the steal. Boy, he is making one heck of an impact on this game, Tommy, and he doesn't have any points. Sometimes you have to find ways to affect the game other than scoring, and that is what Ethan Sauber has been here tonight.
And I think that's what Old Fort's been their calling card.
Yeah.
You got 5 guys that are able to do that.
Spawn had it stripped away. That's kind of a late whistle there, Tommy. It was well after the fact. Casey Klaus called on the foul. That'll send Garrett Spawn to the line.
Garrett Spawn shooting 2.
Oh, that one uncharacteristically goes out.
Spawn, 8th leading free throw shooter in the SBC River. He averaged about 75% from the line on the season. Unable to get the first one to go, but he got that second one. That puts the Senecas up 26-17. Casey Klaus drives it into the forecourt. Had it poked away by Spawn. Spawn with the steal. Now Garrett Spawn kicks it out right wing for Max Paul, driving up off the glass, puts it up and in. Max Paul, what a move to the basket. And with a friendly touch off the glass, Eric Hoover takes a timeout. The Stockaders want to talk things over. The Senecas now lead 28-17 by 11. Let's take a moment to thank our sponsors for bringing you tonight's broadcast right here on the pulse of the Buckeye State, heart of Ohio sports. Thanks to MST Sauce Company, First National Bank of Sycamore, Phillips Electric, Wind Waste Innovations in Fostoria, Reno's Pizza and Pasta, Sarah Risen, Century 21 Bolte in Tiffin, Fiesel's Frame and Collision, Fort Ball Pizza Palace, Ex-Carre Mexican Restaurant, and Your Legacy Federal Credit Union, all proud sponsors right here with Heart of Ohio Sports.
Don't forget, we got more basketball action coming your way tomorrow night.
That's right.
It's Tiffin Columbian back at Millbury for a showdown with the Toledo Central Catholic Fighting Irish. I do not envy the Tornadoes in that one.
Not one bit.
You know they're going to go out on their shield, if anything, as the Tornadoes look to continue a very impressive season they've built.
Well, if you remember, Tommy, that Toledo Central Catholic squad was the last team that Tiffin Columbian faced last year. And handed the Tornadoes a defeat at Lake High School last year. Tornadoes looking for revenge tomorrow night right here on Heart of Ohio Sports. Senecas have possession, leading by 11. 4 minutes left here in the third quarter. Garrett Spawn pulls it back, resets the offense, calls out the play.
That's what we talk about, controlling the pace.
That's what you mean when you talk about cerebral assassin. Boy, Sauber, that was almost had to travel there, but the flexibility of his foot to be able to stick it and plant it. Ooh. Spawn, kick out, left side for Paul, drives the baseline, puts it up, no. Grabs the rebound and puts it up and in. And if we're playing 21, Max Paul ain't got no points left.
The Stockaders definitely, here in this last 3 minutes and 20 seconds of the third quarter, really need to chip away at this deficit and get this back into a manageable situation. Can't be chasing points this late, Nate.
Kickball violation. Sauber checks out.
What?
And Nick Palm checking in for the Stockaders. Casey Klaus kicks it over left wing. Garrett Havens for three. Off the rim, no. Rebound grab by Majors. Majors pulls it back. Down low for Colin Nutter. Nutter spins, turnaround jumper. Oh, that was smooth by Colin Nutter. Nutter now with 12 points.
And there really is no answer to defending a guy like Nutter. You do the best you can.
You do what you got to do. Steal. Stockaders down the floor. Nutter looking for the jam! Colin Nutter throws it down with authority. 14 points for the senior with an emphatic slam to bring the Stockaders back to single digits. 30-21, Senecas lead by 9.
What kind of message?
Havens with the poke away, but they're going to get a reach-in foul.
Well, what kind of message does this send, though, Nate? Especially
Towards the end of the third quarter, into the fourth, these referees, they're taking control of this one. I mean, these are fouls that are quick. They're quickly called.
And I think that comes with that smothering defense. If you're going to get chippy, I mean, you got to call it the way. Yeah,
absolutely. And I mean, they set the tone early. Like we said, Tommy, the referees told these players from the very beginning, we're not going to let you guys beat up on each other tonight. Spawn, nice move to the basket. And with the finger roll, lays it up and in.
Spawn, Garrett Yamaguchi just skates his way right to the basket. So smooth.
Nutter draws the double team. Working on Beaker, kicks it out. Stockaders trail by 11. Havens just inside the three-point arc, works it down low for Nutter. Nutter draws the double team, and we're going to get a foul on the floor. Non-shooting foul. This one will go on Nolan Beak. No, this one's on Blake Ronsky.
His second, team second. Entering the game for the Senecas, number 11, Jackson Sizlove.
Sizlove checking into the game for Tiffin Calvert as Nick Palm takes a seat. 1:31 left here in the third quarter. 32-21.
He just gives you such great minutes off the bench.
For sure.
When he's not in the starting five.
Colin Nutter, kick out. Casey Klaus, top of the key. Garrett Havens under the basket. Miles Miller working on the double team. It's stolen away. Beaker with the steal.
Uh-oh.
We're going to get a kick ball violation. Actually, they're going to say a foul.
Yeah, I think Beaker took a shot.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, it's going to take him a minute to recover from that one. It's all right. He's not having kids anytime soon, so. Yeah, that was a kicked ball violation, Greg. Yes, absolutely. 1:11 left here in the third quarter. Inbound to Colin Nutter at the free throw line. Under the basket, stolen away. Pesky poke away there by Jackson Sizlove. And a timeout called by Garrett Spawn. Wise timeout there. We'll keep it locked right here. This is a 30-second timeout. Calvert leading 32-21. Let's take a moment to thank our sponsors. Actually, they're going to change it to a full timeout. So we got plenty of time. Thanks to MST Sauce Company, First National Bank of Sycamore, Phillips Electric, Wind Waste Innovations in Fostoria, Reno's Pizza and Pasta, Sarah Risen, Century 21, Bolte and Tiffin, Fiesel's Frame and Collision, Fort Ball Pizza Palace, Ex-Carre Mexican Restaurant, and Your Legacy Federal Credit Union, all proud sponsors right here on Heart of Ohio Sports. Of course, when you talk about some of these sponsors, I mean, make sure, folks, you stick around for the postgame show brought to you by Phillips Electric. We'll hand out the MST Sauce Company Player of the Game Award. But I just can't thank enough. I can't thank these sponsors enough for coming on board with us and helping us out this basketball season, getting us started here on Heart of Ohio Sports.
And the Stockaders still looking for an answer. I mean, they've shored up a little bit defensively, but they just haven't got anything going offensively. You got to get stuff. You got to get some open looks or at least get some action going under the basket.
.106 left here in the third. Inbound to Garrett Spawn.
I can't believe, yeah. We're about heading under a minute now here in the third quarter.
It's a quick moving game here. Ronsky on the left wing. Gives it off to Palm. Nick Palm now.
Stockaders still down by 11.
Palm pulls it back, resets the offense. Palm was set to go, and John Otterbacher says, no. Just wait. You ain't got to go nowhere. Just wait. 35 seconds left here in the third quarter.
Yeah, no shot clock here at the high school level.
And I think we're going to get a 30-second timeout called by Tiffin Calvert.
Team timeout.
That's the second team timeout.
Fans, here is your winning 50.
Tommy, we talk about some of these sponsors, but I mean, talk about one guy in particular. We talked about Tom Phillips and his contributions to the program. We talk about what kind of a community guy he is. But Tommy, it didn't take much for me to ask, for him to say, absolutely, I want to be on board with you guys. I want to see what you guys got going on. And we can't be happier to have sponsors like Tom Phillips and Phillips Electric helping us bring this broadcast to you.
Yeah, again, because we're not done. Tomorrow night, we're back in action.
That's right.
Back on the road. And again, don't forget, if you need to get back on the road, call Jeff over there at Fiesel's Frame and Collision. They'll treat you right.
Of course, when I went over and saw Jeff on Tuesday, talking to him about sponsorship, there were cars lined up in the yard outside. He has so much business going on because it's the place to go. A foul called on the floor.
Yeah, they want
Non-shooting
Klaus.
foul.
Klaus and Spawn getting a little chippy there. Fans wanted something called, but
Number 10, Miles Miller, his second.
Miller called on the foul. 13.3 seconds left here in the third quarter. Spawn inbounds to Paul. Max Paul. Over to Spawn. Now Ronski, 5 seconds. 4. Ronski pulls up for 3. No. Rebound tipped. Nutter grabs the rebound, launches it down the floor, and it's no good. And that's the end of the third quarter. Tiffin Calvert leading 32-21 as we head to the fourth quarter. Folks, First National Bank of Sycamore is uniquely rooted in our communities. Proudly serving their customers since 1919, they have locations in Sycamore, Tiffin, New Riegel, and McCutcheonsville. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender. Go see the fine folks at First National Bank of Sycamore, Jerry, Pat, and all the guys, Darren. Just tell them Heart of Ohio Sports sent you over there to talk to them. They'll be able to take care of you no matter what your needs are. First National Bank of Sycamore, proud sponsor here on Heart of Ohio Sports. About 30 seconds here until the start of the fourth quarter.
Once again, tonight's winning 50-50 number.
Well, don't forget, tomorrow night we're back at it right here on Heart of Ohio Sports as we bring you Tiffin Columbian versus Toledo Central Catholic live from Lake High School in Millbury. 6:50 pregame show, 7 o'clock tip-off right here on the pulse of the Buckeye State, Heart of Ohio Sports.
right now, 8 minutes. 8 minutes to go. See who's going to be taking that trip to Bowling Green for the regional semifinal. I think that game will be played on Tuesday of next week.
Yes, sir.
And the Stockaders, they don't want this season to come to a close. They got a lot of work to make up inside 8 minutes.
Garrett Spawn takes the inbound, and we're underway here in the fourth quarter of action. Nate Mullins and Tommy Hall on the call. We got Greg Kinn manning the cameras. Thanks for tuning in right here on Heart of Ohio Sports. And Senecas, they're going to play ball control now here, Tommy, with an 11-point lead. They're just going to try to milk as much of this clock away as they can on every possession.
That's what becomes so crucial.
Spawn drives it into the paint, up with the shot, off the glass and in.
And this is what you see Spawn do late in games. He controls the tempo, he calls the play out top of the key. If he doesn't like what he looks, he just drives to the basket himself. Finishes
Miles
the play.
Miller kicks it out for Klaus, now back down to Miller. Little give and go. Baseline jumper for Miller, no good. Rebound grab by Paul. Max Paul with some great defense down low there on Miles Miller. He's been excellent on Miller tonight. Well, we talked about Miles Miller the other night. He had 10 points against the Golden Bears, but here tonight, scoreless. And that's partly due to him having to go against Max Paul.
Seisler with an open look, blocked by Nutter, and he paid for it there.
Miller driving into the paint, poked away from behind. The last touch by the Senecas, Jackson Seisler. And they are starting to get into the heads of the Stockaders. You start to see some hands on the knees and Those pokeaways from behind are so pesky, Tommy, and it just gets into the head of these Stockaders.
Because you know you have to go at a frenetic pace now.
Klaus pulls up from 3, no good. Rebound grab by Majors. He kicks it out to Havens.
You don't have the luxury of time on your side now.
Havens spots up from 3, no. Nutter grabs the rebound, goes back up with it, puts it up and in, but no foul, or no shot, because they're saying foul on the floor before the shot.
That was on number 20, Max Paul. Team still.
Gives the old Fort Stockader a second to stop the bleeding here. As we talked about, each one of those possessions becoming all that important. Like a grain of sand through an hourglass. Each one is so important.
Reach-in foul called on Garrett Spawn. I believe that's his first.
That was on number 1, Garrett Spawn.
Second foul. Fourth team foul against Stephen Calvert. Comes at the 6:14 mark here in the fourth quarter.
Klaus gets it stolen away by Spawn. And now the Senecas take it across the timeline as Garrett Spawn out to Ronsky.
6 minutes left to play here in the ball game. And a foul called on the floor. Casey Klaus called for the foul. That's his third? Yes. And the 5th team foul against the Stockaders comes at the 5:57 mark of the fourth quarter.
Substitution for the Stockaders, number 1, Simon Taggett. Replacing Klaus.
Klaus was his third?
That was his third, yes.
I'm going to give him a little bit of reprieve and get him in the key moments here.
Spawn nearly had it poked away, but gets it back.
If you don't do
he's
something.
Just under control.
Wow.
Man, just cooler than the other side of the pillow. Garrett Spawn now with 15 points to lead all scorers. And the Senecas up by 15. Majors over to Miller. Tackett thought about a 3, puts it on the floor, gives it down low for Nutter. Nutter drives the baseline, and he is tripped up on his way to the basket. Beaker is going to be called on the foul.
That was on number 22, Little Beaker, his second. Team's 5th.
That'll be his second foul, and the 5th team foul on the Senecas. So both teams have 5 fouls at the 5-minute and 22 mark of the fourth quarter. It figures to get pretty chippy from here. 15-point lead for the Senecas.
It's just
inbound stolen away. Now we're going to say jump ball, but possession arrow will stay with the Stockaders. And Beaker just ripped that one out of the hands of Colin Nutter on the inbound.
He's just visibly upset. I mean, those two have just been challenging each other and clashing like two titans under the glass there. Look at this, Nutter.
They nearly had it poked away. They save it from going out of bounds. Havens with a little floater, no good. Rebound grab by Nutter. He goes back up with it.
I can't believe
on his
this.
way up. And a foul called on the floor. That's going to go against Colin Nutter.
And now Nutter showing a little bit of that frustration.
Yeah, you're seeing it starting to show. Down to 5:07 left to play here in the ball game. Senecas have possession now.
And now Beaker works his way to the basket over to Sauber.
You talk about unselfish play. Sauber grabs the rebound, kicks it over to Spawn. Garrett Spawn.
And more importantly, it continues the possession of the Senecas here.
I'll tell you, Tommy, I can't say enough about the effort you're seeing from Ethan Sauber here tonight. It's not showing up on the stat sheet.
On Ronsky.
And that one tipped out of bounds off of the leg of Blake Ronsky. We'll go back to the Stockaders. 4:28 left to play in the ball game. 36-21 is your score.
Checking in for the Senecas, number 3, Nick Hall, replacing Sauber.
This defense by the Senecas,
That one blocked.
Stunned silence.
Spawn out to Beaker. Down to 4:10 left in the ball game. Stockaders are going to have to turn up the intensity on defense. They got to force some turnovers. Get some stops and then get some points on the other end because they have been held scoreless here in the fourth quarter. What a move by Garrett Spawn! Wow! The sensational senior.
Heidelberg commit, showing the student princes what's in store down the road for young Garrett Spawn.
Did you feel the energy in this place when he hit that shot?
Nate,
Wow.
if you're a stranger to Calvert basketball, again, Garrett Spawn, late in games, I've never seen anybody just take over like that.
Timeout called on the floor. 3:42 left here in the ball game.
And ordinarily, I mean, here in the fourth quarter, with the defensive effort by the Senecas, I can't tell you how many teams make it to the regional scoring 21 points. That's not going to cut it this late in the dance. And if you dance with the Senecas, they'll step on your toes. They've really just dialed it up here in the second half. Able to get out to, at one point, that 11-point lead to start. And they like to bury you with runs.
Yeah, they really do. Once again, the winner of tonight's matchup will move on to the Stroh Center. Bowling Green is the destination for the winner tonight, as they'll face the winner from the Elida District. Right now, that matchup taking place between Ottoville and Columbus Grove. So you'll see the winner of that matchup face off between the winner of tonight's matchup in the next round. That's stolen away. Max Paul with the steal. Garrett Spawn drives
Get a
into
reach
the
in on
paint,
him.
up off the glass and in. He will not be denied. 19 points for the senior, Garrett Spawn. And a foul called on the floor as Casey Klaus drives to the basket.
You know, earlier on in this game, and I believe in the first quarter, I saw Garrett Spawn, a little, start warming up a little bit. And I was like, what's he doing? This is a little too early for him to be scoring. And he's, like I said, just takes charge during games, late,
Klaus unable to convert on the first free throw. But yeah, you're right,
quietly
Tommy.
put up 19 points.
The way he is able to take over late in games, I mean, if I was Andy Buhai and I'm watching this game, I got a grin from ear to ear.
Well, they preach over there at Heidelberg controlled chaos, and I can't imagine anybody better to call off those sets. That free throw gets it to go.
And referee's going to conference here. It looked like it went off of the Senecas, but we're going to see what the call is. Indeed, it is off the Senecas, so we'll stay with the Stockaders. 3:20 to play here in the fourth quarter. 40-22 is your score. Stockaders broke the lid on the basket here in the fourth quarter with that point from the free throw line, but still trail by 18. Nutter grabs the loose ball, had it poked away, gets it back. Colin Nutter into the forecourt now. Nearly loses it, gets it back.
Beaker's just been unrelenting.
He is. He's just so. This whole defense for Calvert has just been so pesky. Klaus unable to convert on the three-pointer. It goes out of bounds. Tipped out by Blake Ronsky.
Please remain seated for presentation of the district champion and runner-up awards and trophies. Fans are asked to remain off the court until after the awards presentation.
Simon Tackett is fouled. No, they're going to say poked away out of bounds, so no foul. Tackett looking at inbound, gets it into Casey Klaus. Klaus pulls up from the elbow, no good. Rebound grab by Nutter. And a foul called on the floor. We're talking about a battle between these two, Colin Nutter and Nolan Beaker. This has been a brawl here tonight.
Nutter limited to just 14 points here tonight. Which is a great night for anybody else.
Well, I mean, yeah, absolutely. But I think the biggest issue it's not an issue for him, Tommy. He's got 15. The rest of the team has 8. He got 23 points here. He needs some help. He needs guys to step up and hit some shots. That's what they really need here. 40-24 your score. Ronsky under the basket for Beaker. Puts it up and in. Nolan Beaker. 4 points now for Beaker. Klaus into the lane up with the shot. Puts it up off the glass and puts it in. Casey Klaus with a nice move. And now Blake Ronsky with it off the inbound. And he's going to be fouled on the reach-in. Garrett Havens is going to be called for the foul. That's his second. And the 7th team foul against the Stockaders comes at the 2:24 mark here in the fourth quarter. That will put the Senecas at the line for a 1-and-1 situation. Ronsky knocks down the first free throw. Of course, on the season, he's an 80% free throw shooter. Blake Ronsky, second free throw. Money. 44-26. Senecas leading by 18. Klaus into the paint. Ball stripped away out of bounds. Last touch by the Senecas. .2:14 to play. Score 44-26. Havens under the basket for Nutter. Nutter fouled. Under the basket by Nolan Beaker.
I've been covering the Stockaders for well over a decade, both in print and on the air. And I tell you, I've never seen this happen to a Stockader squad.
And you talk about Nolan Beaker. He's getting a big round of applause from the fans as he fouls out with his 5th foul. He has just 4 points, Tommy.
That workhorse.
But I'll tell you, he worked for every point, and he made Colin Nutter work for every point he had tonight.
The workhorse.
Nutter, second free throw, nope. Rebound grab by Paul. Reach-in foul. Adam Majors called on the reach-in. Nutter got scratched up pretty good by Beaker on that last foul. You see him covered up his shoulder there because I don't think he wants to come out of the game. I think he's bleeding, but he doesn't want to come out, so he's just covering up that scratch mark. It's pretty deep.
Says I ain't got time to bleed.
That's right. Senecas knocked down both free throws. They lead by 20, 46-26. 1:52 left here in the ball game. And a reach-in foul. Going to be called on Jackson Sislove.
That was on number 11, Jackson Sislove, his second. Team's 10.
10th team foul against the Senecas puts the Stockaders at the line in a double bonus situation. Make sure you stick around for the postgame show. Brought to you by Phillips Electric.
And also, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube page. Look up Heart of Ohio Sports there on YouTube. Right. And the more subscribers we get, the more content and up-close and personal coverage we can give you.
Nutter grabs the offensive rebound off the missed free throw, puts it up and puts it in, and draws the foul. So Colin Nutter now with 18 of the Stockaders' 28 points. Nutter's free throw in and out. Down to 1:40 to play here in the ball game. Senecas leading 46-28. Nick Palm going to be fouled.
Fouls on number 1, Simon Tackett.
Simon Tackett called for the foul.
Nick Palm shooting 1 and 1.
Nick Palm on the season, 6 for 10 from the free throw line. Knocks down first.
Into the game for the Senecas.
1:35 left to play in the ball game, and the Senecas are counting the minutes and counting the seconds until they can cut down those nets here at Liberty-Benton High School.
Yeah, what a statement win this would be for the Senecas. Up by 20 now here in the district championship.
Tackett over to Nutter. Colin Nutter, spin move, turn around, and puts up a floating jump shot that falls. Nutter now with 20 points out of the Stockaders' 30. You can't say that he hasn't put everything he has on the floor here tonight.
Well, when it comes to playing these Senecas, it takes a village, and Old Fort gave you an island.
That's right. Down to a minute to play. Garrett Spawn controls the basketball. The Senecas look to close this one out and take home the district championship. Foul on the floor as Casey Klaus checks out for the final time. A lot of seniors exit the floor now for the Stockaders. And now you see some youth come into the game for Old Fort. Garrett Spawn at the line, shooting 2. First one no good.
Now in the game for Calvert, number 32, Will Kurtz. Number 30, Colin McCarty. Number 42, Jacob Rombach. Number 33, Caden Ederbacher.
Seniors.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's give a highlight and a shout out to all the seniors on that Old Fort squad. This is a squad that they put together an impressive 4-year run here at Old Fort.
Yeah, they take a seat, but you don't put that head down in shame.
That's right.
Even Colin Nutter, he'll close out his senior campaign with 20 points here tonight. And hey, who else have we got on our roster here?
Well, Simon Tackett is also a senior. We got Casey Klaus, Garrett Havens, Miles Miller, and Colin Nutter. Those are your seniors for the Old Fort Stockaders. There's going to be some big shoes to fill.
Tremendous career by those young men.
Absolutely.
For the Old Fort Stockaders, as they've just, again, tradition of success. And when their end of their run concludes each and every season, it's always on the biggest stage. So, I mean, again, nothing to hang your head about for these Stockaders, as the Senecas are going to wrap this one up 48-30 to be your Division IV district champions.
They are the champions of the Findlay District in Division IV. The Tiffin Calvert Senecas are moving on to Bowling Green in the next round as they wait for their opportunity to cut down the nets. We're going to step aside for a momentary audio timeout. We'll be right back after this. You're tuned in to Heart of Ohio Sports. Don't go anywhere. We've got the postgame show coming up, brought to you by Phillips Electric, and where we will have the player of the game brought to you by MST Sauce Company. Don't go anywhere, folks. We'll only be gone for about a minute. one thing that surprised me, he didn't have any fouls. And for as pesky a defense he was playing, the reach-ins, the hand, dude, he was so handsy throughout this entire ball game. And he just was a thorn in the side of the Stockaders. I was very impressed with Ethan Sauber here tonight as well.
Yeah, again, a Calvert squad, limited Old Fort team, a perennial in the postseason, the 30 points here in the district final. My hat's off to the Senecas. What a tremendous win, what a tremendous season, and they continue to write another chapter in this undefeated season for the Senecas, capping this off with a district title, and now they're going to be heading to Bowling Green for a chance at a regional title.
Once again, Garrett Spawn, our MST Sauce Company player of the game. And, I mean, rightfully so, 21 points here tonight. A huge contribution from Spawn and a loud rising ovation from the crowd as he comes up to accept his district champion medallion. And I'll tell you, this was a fun one to watch, even though it was an 18-point game. It was still a tough matchup between these two schools. A lot of defense. That's what I expected. I was talking with Kevin Lineman before the game, a Calvert alum, one of the IT guys over there at Calvert, and he asked me for my score prediction. I said, I honestly thought it was going to be close. I thought it was going to be 43-40, close game, close, like low-scoring game. I wasn't expecting one team to run away with this one.
Right, and the game itself was actually close. It's just the score was a little bit more lopsided than you expected here. But you don't go undefeated by accident, no doubt about that. You know that Calvert came into this game ready.
That's absolutely right. Once again, you're tuned into the post-game show brought to you by Phillips Electric. Nate Mullins and Tommy Hall with Greg Kinn up here in the perch at Liberty-Benton High School as they are crowning the district champions, the Tiffin Calvert Senecas. Big win for this program. Tommy, you think they got some unfinished business at Bowling Green next week?
I believe so, as they've really strived to get back to that dance. And they're going to have the chance under the bright lights there in the Stroh Center in Bowling Green for the regional semifinal this Tuesday from Bowling Green.
Once again, your final score, 48-30. Tiffin Calvert, district champions over the Old Fort Stockaders. You're listening to the postgame show brought to you by Phillips Electric. I want to take a moment to thank all of our sponsors once again before we wrap things up here at Liberty-Benton High School. Thanks to MST Sauce Company, our player of the game sponsor, First National Bank of Sycamore, Phillips Electric, Wind Waste Innovations in Fostoria, Reno's Pizza and Pasta, Sarah Risen, Century 21 Bolte in Tiffin, Fiesel's Frame and Collision, Fort Ball Pizza Palace, Excurre Mexican Restaurant, and Your Legacy Federal Credit Union, all proud sponsors right here with Heart of Ohio Sports. And folks, don't forget, I want to tell you this because it comes from my heart. Your Legacy Federal Credit Union, they've been a part of the community for 70 years. They're a member-driven financial cooperative, and they're delighted to provide a personal touch to an often impersonal industry with a focus on respect and member satisfaction while caring for your financial needs. Stop at Your Legacy, located at 25 Schaefer Park Drive in Tiffin. Your community, your legacy. Federally insured NCUA. A proud partner here on Heart of Ohio Sports, the pulse of the Buckeye State. Guys, any final thoughts before we wrap things up here? I don't think we're going to be able to get a player of the game to come up here for an interview because this is a little different atmosphere down here.
It's just a little different here tonight.
Yeah, they let these young men enjoy
absolutely.
the moment as
soak it up.
You know, there's only very few people that get to celebrate as champions.
That's right.
And, you know, I couldn't be more proud and happy to see a lot of these guys earn this moment. And, again, just happy to be here with you. And we're not done as we hit the road tomorrow for that Division II regional final between the Toledo Central Catholic Fighting Irish and the Tiffin Columbian Tornadoes, live from Lake High School there in Millbury, Ohio.
Right here on Heart of Ohio Sports, folks. Once again, that's a 6:50 pregame, 7 o'clock tip-off tomorrow night from Lake High School in Millbury. Greg, any final thoughts here before we wrap things up?
Well, this game was pretty much everything I expected it to be, everything I wanted it to be. It was a great atmosphere here tonight. The fans, you could see both sides were packed. It was just a great time, guys. I was glad to be here with you on the call.
Absolutely. I want to thank, first, I really want to reach out and thank the Assistant Athletic Director, Scott Garlock, over here, and all the staff for providing such a great hospitable environment for both schools and media. Obviously, both schools, this is a great venue for basketball here. Obviously the internet coverage is spotty at best here, but we did the best we could with what we had. But we really, honestly, I thank this school very much for their hospitality and providing us a spot where we can provide you the coverage that you need. And we couldn't be happier with our experience here at Liberty-Benton. I mean, just an outstanding staff over here. Thanks once again to all the staff for their hospitality and putting us up over here at Liberty-Benton High School. So once again, for Tommy Hall and Greg Kinn, I'm Nate Mullins signing off. You've been listening to the postgame show brought to you by Phillips Electric. Once again, your MST Sauce Company player of the game, Garrett Spawn. Don't forget, tomorrow night we'll be live from Lake High School as we bring you the Division II District Final between Tiffin Columbian and Toledo Central Catholic. 6:50 pregame, 7 o'clock tip-off right here on the Pulse of the Buckeye State. You've been tuned in right here on Heart of Ohio Sports.